Hopkinson here again, Chinese medicine practitioner. I am wearing my Christmas t-shirt because it's the day before the Christmas, well, it's Christmas time. So I just wanted to give you this video really quickly to encourage you about the benefits of reflection around this time of year. I mean, you may be watching this and it's not Christmas time. That's totally fine. You can still reflect at different times, but reflection and gratitude is really important for us, and what that does for us in the Chinese medicine sense can be quite beneficial to our bodies. So you have this season, between Christmas and New Year where I feel like time just doesn't exist. You have these days where you're just lazing about, not doing anything, spending time with friends and family, maybe eating and drinking too much, or just overindulging in the good stuff of life. And within that space, if there's time for you to just have a moment to reflect, I do a thing called a gratitude journal, where throughout the year I just write down things. Now I get busy and I forget to do this sometimes, but it has helped me to basically every day write down something good that's happened. Now if you're a person that's experiencing a state of depression or sadness, or you're just finding it hard to find meaning in, or just sometimes I've done this when I've just been so busy and it just seems like you're doing all this work but not getting anything for it. Something, you will get something for it later on, but at that moment it can feel hard. What's something that you can feel grateful for every day? Now it can be really simple. It could be things like I'm grateful that I was so busy today and I just happened to get a parking spot that was close by to the shops that I needed to go to, and that that just saved me. When I was parking at my school once, someone gave me a parking ticket, and they gave me their spot. Now getting that spot is really hard. You drive around and around and around trying to find a spot, and sometimes I've driven around for like 20 minutes looking for a parking spot because the parking is so chock-a-block at that time. And that moment, as I was driving there, I was kind of praying, God, get us a parking spot. And I do that every time, and not every time I get a parking spot, but this. And so I was just grateful, and that was, it can be just the little things in life that you're grateful for. But around this time of year, it's good to just take stock and reflect and think, okay, what are the things that has happened this year that I'm grateful for? And it can sometimes be tumultuous things, it can be sometimes bad things that have happened, or not necessarily bad, but things that were difficult, that you're glad, you might be just glad that it's over, or grateful that you've experienced that and you've come through the other side of it, and you are still here, and you are still theoretically in one piece, if you like. And I don't want to belittle anyone's troubles or difficulties, because everyone goes through things, and sometimes things could be seemingly not so difficult and another person could find that same thing completely flattening. But what's good to do is just to, in a Chinese medicine sense, okay, so reflection relates to your spleen, earth element. So the earth element relates to your spleen and stomach, the digestion. So it's about digesting thoughts just as much as it is digesting food. So there's this process with digestion where you have elimination. If you don't have elimination, you get stagnation. So for instance, if you just eat and eat and eat, which you probably experience if you're watching this after Christmas, it will all block up, and where does it go? You get bloated, you get, some people get severe constipation or something and they just need to purge it out. Well, that can happen with our thoughts as well. Like if we just collect up all this stuff and we don't purge it, or we don't release it in any way, or we don't digest it. Now it doesn't mean you just let go of it completely, but you've collected there's residual that happens from things that happens in life, and that's what causes us to have wisdom, I think. The residual things, the fact that you've gone through something and you've experienced that, but has that left you feeling scarred, and has it had a negative effect on you, or has that had, it might have been a negative thing that's happened, but overall you've had a positive outcome from it. And so sometimes it can be a bit cathartic to do that. Now sometimes I'll take like a day even, I like to write my goals, usually before all this stuff happens, because I like to have them cemented, so I've already had time to think about my goals and what do I want to do for the next year. What do you want your next year to kind of look like? That's what you want to think about. And what, in the process of doing that, what are some things that have happened? So before you even get to that stage, it can be really useful just to do this process of reflection. So it's about the intellect, the E in Chinese medicine, the earth element, and that idea of digesting thoughts just as we digest food. So hopefully that's some food for thought, pardon the pun. But that is the concepts that relate to that idea. And gratitude is something that, like there's research that shows, you know, people that have gratitude have a better mental health state. That's no secret. But it does help us to process some of these negative things that happen in our life, and to just focus in on the things that we can be grateful for. I'm from Australia. Now, you may not be watching this from Australia, but I really think that the concept, I mean, I've not experienced it myself because I've only ever lived in Australia. I haven't lived in the US, but in the US they have Thanksgiving, and it just seems like a great idea to have a day where you're thankful for stuff, and you know, to have that appreciation. And we don't have a day of Thanksgiving here. I think that would be a good idea, like to just have that moment of being grateful, and especially in the midst of, in this season, it's all about getting. It's just getting, and you know, and the expectation that, you know, the food's got to be perfect, everything's got to be great, and you know, and then there's also the tumultuous thing of like, oh, I'm gonna see, you know, cousin so and so and auntie this and uncle that, and you don't like those people, or you worry, you know, there just can be lots of things that happen around Christmas time that makes people not feel great, or stressed, and you know, but then there's people that love Christmas, so you may be either one of those people, and whatever that is for you, I hope that you get a moment in this season to do some reflection, because it's very useful for you, and it will help you, and hopefully have a great start to the next year. So thanks for watching, and you can subscribe to my channel if you like this stuff. I'll be doing more of this stuff. There's lots of other content that you can go back and watch those videos. So yeah, that's really great if you subscribe, and if you like it, if you dislike it, you know, let me know, and let me know in the comments if there's something that really struck you about this video. That'd be great.